Thank you very much, Swarupa, and thanks a lot, Vedas, Dr. Vedas, who has invited me today for this talk. A good morning to all of you, my dear friends. Now, what I'm going to do is to share some simple but special formulas to win over diabetes in the lifestyle way. Now, if you have to win something and you try to conquer something, you must know your enemy. So what is diabetes? And there's intense research going on all over the world to find out what is the root cause. And so far we know that impaired insulin secretion, insulin resistance, impaired insulin processing, islet amyloid polypeptides, the various genetic susceptibility factors like pancreatic development, beta cell functions, insulin release, insulin action, hepatocyte nuclear factor. So much research going on to find out the secret, what is the cause of diabetes. Diet, obesity, inflammation, free fatty acid, the pattern of fat distribution, factors released from adipose tissue like leptin, adiponectin, TNF alpha, chemokines, plasminogen activator inhibitor 1, resistin, retinol binding protein 4, other factors like interleukin 1 beta, uncoupling protein 2, obestatin. My God, so much research going on all over the world to find out the secret of what is the cause of diabetes. The role of intrauterine development also has been recognized. The low birth weight as well as very high birth weight babies can develop diabetes. Prematurity can cause diabetes. Drugs like corticosteroids, oral contraceptives, beta blockers, statins, protease inhibitors, antipsychotics, all these can cause diabetes. But the age-old saying, and luckily my previous speaker, Dr. Kulkarni, has very much emphatically told all of you, it is not all this, it is the stress, it is the emotional disturbance and the change in the lifestyle, that is a sedentary lifestyle, which is actually at the root cause of diabetes. There is a saying, simple things are difficult to do, hence we keep looking for difficult solutions for simple problems. We all know it is so easy to say, "Arey lifestyle change karo, daudo, wake karo, walk karo, wazan kam karo," but it is the most difficult thing. Healthy and stress-free lifestyle is actually the simplest solution to control diabetes, but it's not easy. Hence, so much research goes on finding a wonder drug. वो एक बार वो एक गोली ले लेंगे तो पूरा डायबिटीज खत्म हो जाएगा. So that is the hope with which our pharma is desperate, and they know that if we come up with something like that, they will be earning much more out of that. So, but at the same time we must remember, even if such drug really comes, it is very difficult that a drug will change a lifestyle. Okay, so a lifestyle has to be done by yourself. I cannot do exercise for you. वो होता तो मैं रोज आपके लिए ज़्यादा एक्सरसाइज करता था, but you have to do exercise yourself. So no drug can actually repair the root cause of diabetes. So what decides one's lifestyle? Socio-economic status. The girl on the left side says, "How come you are rich and I am poor?" She asks the boy across, and the boy says, "My mom and dad have highly paid jobs working on that same problem." So there is a huge paradox which goes in the world. People are trying to find out solutions, and actually there is a big divide between rich and poor. The religion decides lifestyle, the climate decides lifestyle, the pollution around us decides lifestyle, the peer pressure decides lifestyle. It leads to addictions. The most important thing that decides lifestyle are our thoughts. And our thoughts are basically centered around one thing, that how I can get more pleasure. And we have also thought, or rather convinced our mind, that more the money we have, we can buy more pleasures, and more pleasures means happiness. This is an equation which is there in everybody's mind, and that is what causes problem. The biggest boon or a curse that we have to decide that a human being has got is the intelligence. And this intelligence, how we use, finally decides what happens to our lifestyle. I feel the lethal combination of human intelligence and laziness has actually led to all our problems. Our ancestors were like this. Our ancestors were cavemen. They were staying in forests. They used to take a lot of efforts to get food. To get food was not easy. But the intelligence came in our way, and we devised a way by which we could do agriculture. So it was easier to grow seeds in a small area and eat food. Now intelligence was even worse, and what happened about 400-500 years ago was the scientific revolution. And with the application of scientific revolution, everything got mechanized. The sole purpose of scientific revolution was actually to achieve the basic human needs like food, water, shelter, clothing, sex, sleep and control over disease at best quality with minimum physical effort. So nobody wants to make efforts. Minimum physical effort में सब कुछ मिलना चाहिए, and that has led to this urbanization that Dr. Kulkarni was talking about. That we are all now bound here. We are not sitting in parks and discussing this. We are unfortunately sitting in a building which is air conditioned, has no light which is naturally coming here. So that is what is leading to urbanization, and we are getting food just by sitting here. We don't have to make efforts to do that. The whole economy is revolved around this money. I purposely got this 1,000 rupee note, कुछ पुरानी यादें थोड़ी पुराने दुख भी उसके साथ ताज़ा हो सकते हैं. तो ऐसे वो 1,000 के नोट जिन्होंने हमारे दिल को चीर दिया ऐसे. Property which comes along with that is our desire. We want to have jobs in bigger companies. We want to have lavish marriages. We want to have a square family. We want to eat the best of the food. We want to have jewelry. Even the men want to have jewelry. And for that what we need is higher education. Now unless we have higher education, all this is not possible, or else we have to be cheats. So one of the two things. And this all has to be done in a time pressure. ये सब targeted at the age of 10 or at the age of 15. You have to do SSC, then you have to do 12, then after that you have to finish your medical course or engineering course in those 3-4 years only. So this tremendous time pressure that we are all working in. Through scientific revolution we have managed to get food, water, shelter, clothing with less efforts, but this has all come with a price to pay. We have reduced sleep, which is often not in synchrony with the circadian rhythm. Our people work to the tune of US people. उधर का क्लाइंट है इसलिए वो मैं रात को 10 बजे मेरा शिफ्ट चालू होता है. दैट इज व्हाट हैपेंस. रिड्यूस फिजिकल एक्टिविटी, एक्सेसिव फूड इनटेक ऑफन जस्ट फॉर द सेक ऑफ प्लेजर, not for the sake of need. Lack of exposure to nature, pure air, sunlight, sexual problems, sexual aberrations, all this is the price that we are paying and the stress which has come along with that. Why does the current lifestyle cause stress? The desires are endless with ever widening horizon. Very difficult to achieve these desires. The race of life goes up and one-upmanship is on. The shortage of time lures one to take shortcuts, which may be actually unethical, unlawful at the cost of causing harm to others. There is no time syndrome which leads to stress. How does the current lifestyle cause diabetes? There is the timeline. I want to draw your attention to this timeline. This last 400-500 years in our human evolution have been the worst that I can think of, because now we are in that phase of exponential graph, and with the exponential graph the things are getting so much mechanized that you don't need to really do anything to get food previously, and this has led to the metabolic syndrome. The current lifestyle leads to excess intake of food compared to its utilization. The genes that we still have are the genes of our ancestors, which are like caveman. The genes were selected over many millennia to favor energy efficiency. So we were all thrifty. We wanted to save and storage. But now they appear highly maladaptive in face of nutrient excess and poor physical activity, and that causes obesity and metabolic imbalance. Stress plays a major role in causation, sustenance and worsening of diabetes because it causes hormonal wildfire. 6 enemies of mankind causes stress: the kama, krodha, mada, moha, matsara and bhaya. Intense desire, anger, ego, illusion, jealousy and fear, all these cause stress. Stress causes sympathetic overactivity which resets the sugar and BP levels to higher level, and they just remain at that. Stress can cause depression, which can also cause excess food intake and obesity. What is the solution? Solution comes only when we ponder. Buddha has said all that we are is a result of what we have thought. We have all the wisdom and understanding that we need. We must understand our mistakes and correct them. I want all of you to take a pledge here today and carry this in the society, that even though we remain office goers, we eat and work like a caveman and control our 6 enemies. So we have to change our attitude. This attitudinal change brings about change in our lifestyle for good. So how to achieve good lifestyle? First, let's talk of stress management. We have to set our priorities right and do the time management accordingly. This is the movie which gave me one line That is, पहले काबिल बनो, कामयाबी पीछे पीछे दौड़ते आएगी. This is something we all of us have to remember and teach our children, our next generation, that we must know one must know what he or she likes to do in life, then follow it passionately, learn the skills required for that in whatever timeline that is necessary. Not that 3 साल में ये डिग्री कंप्लीट करनी चाहिए, 4 साल में वो डिग्री कंप्लीट करनी चाहिए. And with those skills, help people. Because when you help people, money and success follows. Money and success is always a secondary thing. Primary thing is to have ability to help people. People will always reciprocate and give you enough money that is required. With this purpose in mind, each one of our students should learn so that they will enjoy the process of education. It is high time. I am very happy that my teacher, Dr. Menon, I am also from GS, madam, she is here. But it is high time that we have the power in our hand. We get charged and stop the rote learning that is there in our education system. Focus more and more on concept building and application of knowledge. We must include more and more health related information in our curricula and see that there is enough knowledge, enough time available to practice it. You must be remembering those betas and thetas and cos and sines. What is the use of the beta thetas here? But if we were taught about this health management, we were taught about stress management in our schools, it would have been much different. Today also fortunately there is something like physical education, something like personality development has percolated into the curricula now, but it is a graded subject and it is a subject for which a paper is written. A paper is written for physical education. That means we need to simplify our studies. We need to remove a lot of not so important information from our education. Keep the studies limited and allow people to actually imbibe it well. We must remain students all throughout our life. This helps us to progress, keep the child in us alive. So all of us have to continue learning and really appreciate such an august gathering here, which is here for learning. And I also learned a lot because you invited me to come and talk to you. And this keeps us humble. How to be happy? It's a decision. I am happy come what may. That is what we have to decide. For that we have to accept the situation in which we are currently in. Thank God for what we have got. Make consistent effort to bring about positive change, knowing fully well that it may not succeed. Train the mind to enjoy working. Be realistic. Desperate positivity should be removed. If you feel unhappy, think of the big universe. We are not even a grain of sand on the shore if you think of the big universe. And even a castle on the shore can easily get wiped off with just one wave. So there is uncertainty of life. We can die just now. I can just drop dead here in next 2 minutes, or we can lose our abilities. That is the uncertainty. So we have to gel with life, flow with life, enjoy everything that is good and not so good. Be one with nature. Be part of social groups. Be helpful to others. Collect blessing. That is a real worth. Enjoy the multiple sources of pleasure in life. Appreciate the great deeds our fellow beings and ourselves we can do. See this fellow crossing the Niagara, and that is a human being made like us only is doing. So this is the power a human being has. These are our colleagues surgeons who are doing long surgeries and giving lives to so many people. So this is God. Once we realize God, we have faith in God, we keep ourselves calm, we fight back even in case of difficulty. I suggest that all of us remember God by doing chanting regularly. All the religions have advised that. Keep remembering God, because God is the good lifestyle and the Maya is the current lifestyle. So if you have to wipe off the current lifestyle, you have to remember God by practicing good lifestyle. Keep chanting it. Wipes off the bad futile thoughts in your mind. It balances you, allows you to enjoy pleasure, accepts ups and downs in life, and blossoms the inner potential of a person for benefit of individual and society at large. Success guaranteed. What can be done in daily lifestyle? Chant as you awake. You do a gum massage when you do brushing, take a nice bath, drink water, do Surya Namaskar, jog. If you cannot jog, at least climb staircases. All of you, when you came here, must use staircases, not the lift. Balanced diet. Remember what the caveman was eating. Caveman was eating more raw, so you also eat raw. Caveman was eating only twice in a day, so you also eat twice in a day. He was eating in the beginning of the day, was reaching home and maybe eating just early dinner and going to bed. Simple logic, just apply. Remember, have a good breakfast. Avoid negative emotions. Anger, jealousy, sorrow, arrogance, all negative emotions should be wiped off. Love, respect, affection, helpfulness, kindness, unconditional acceptance, forgiveness, all that is good for you. keep a child alive, use golden words, thank you, please, sorry, drive safely, no addiction, enjoy intimate pleasures, have a good night's sleep. If the sleep is damaged, if there is a problem, use CPAP. OSA is a big disease. Let me tell you, this is a serious slide, most important slide of my talk maybe, that OSA is underdiagnosed disease. Please look for OSA in your hypertensive and diabetic patient. You will you may be able to treat it, and the sugar and the BP both will come down. Have hobbies, singing, painting, trekking, gardening, cycling. Protect your environment, what a doctor can do. Once we understand this concept, apply it to one's life. First of all, we have to learn and then apply. Counsel our patient, very much useful for primary, secondary prevention. Correct deficiencies like vitamin D, iron, B12, dietary guidance. There is something like medical nutrition therapy going on. We all are medical nutritionists. Why should dietitian take away from us? We should guide the dietitian and tell them what is right, what is wrong. Exercise guidance, for that we have to exercise first. Rule out sleep apnea, treat if necessary. Counsel for stress management. As doctors, we cannot write only prescription. Doctor is actually a teacher. What the word doctor means is teacher. We have to teach our patient. Counsel for intimate relationship, very much important. नाहीतर सांगता येत नाही आणि काहीतरी सहन होत नाही वगैरे असले प्रकार, people go somewhere else. We doctors have to do that and educate our people how to enjoy intimate relationship. Teach our patient to cope up with diabetes by making friendship with diabetes. That is how we can win the. So we have to make friendship with Pakistan. That's how we can counter that anyway. Accept the disease, learn about it, follow the rules, and see what you have and not what you don't have. Then it's all freedom. Enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. Big thank you. Thank you for the little extra time.